Hey, what's up, guys? It is Dan from FightWave, and today I'm joined by somebody who I'm very excited to speak with. If you know anything about me, you know I love the flyweight division, and the person I'm speaking to today is no exception to one of my favorites in the division right now. Coming off an emphatic debut performance against Jaga Zhumagulov at UFC Jacksonville, I'm joined by Joshua Van today, who's facing Kevin Borjas in November, a fight that was supposed to happen on the Contenders series, but more importantly, we get to settle the score here in November this coming year. Today I'm joined by Joshua Van. How you doing today, my brother?
Hey, I'm good, man. I'm good. How you doing?
Absolutely phenomenal, man. I mean, first and foremost, I gotta say, man, I'm a fan of yours. You know, I was looking forward to seeing you fight Kevin Borjas, but now we're seeing you fight Kevin in November, a rebooking of the Contender Series bout, and more importantly, I think you've really established your name within the organization with the debut. Talk to me, obviously, about how you're feeling and how everything's been.
Man, I've been feeling great, ever since I got that debut out the way, man. Life has been great for me, man. And come November 11th, it'll be the same thing.
No, yeah, absolutely. I mean, talking about that matchup, talk to me about the fight. Obviously, it was scheduled for the Contender Series. It didn't end up happening, but now we get to see it. The score gets to get settled. How's the preparation been for this fight, and how do you kind of look forward to this fight? Is there anything you look at a little differently from when it was the Contender Series, or is it still just the same fight, different, banner from Contender to UFC?
I'll say he got a little better, you know what I'm saying? See him in fight in that contender. So, but I ain't really worried too much of it, you know what I'm saying? Like I said, I don't really watch fight. So I watched him fight one time, and he got the win, but uh to be honest, I thought he lost that fight though. Like, you know what I'm saying? Because the guy was taking him down and stuff like that. And uh, that guy's good. He got a good 1-2. That's about it. Other than that, uh, nothing really surprised me. So I haven't really started my camp yet. I probably start like probably next week, probably like in next 2 weeks.
No, yeah, definitely. And I mean, obviously, you train out of Texas, out of the 4 Ounce Fight Club, one of the more established gyms in Texas, and known for having guys like Adrian Yanez come through, get work in there, and just a lot of high quality guys coming in and out of the gym. Talk to me about just what it's been like to get the support and recognition from other guys inside the UFC and outside the UFC with, what was a really strong debut performance.
Oh man, speaking of Adrian, man, Adrian was the first UFC guys to ever give me a shout out. I listened to one of his podcasts, and he gave me a shout out. He was like, "Watch out for Josh," and that was before my debut. You know what I'm saying? Nobody really know me, and he showed me the support and the love, and I'm always grateful for that. And I trained with Daniel Pineda, so he been there. He's a legend. So uh, he was telling me like, what I'm saying, what I should do and what I shouldn't do. So having people like that in my corner is like it's just amazing, man. And shout out to all my coaches too. All my other coaches and my teammates.
No, yeah, absolutely. I mean, the Texas fight scene is absolutely booming right now, and the way that they get behind each other, it's one of a kind. And then, more importantly, when it comes to the history books, I mean, being the first fighter, if I remember correctly, from Myanmar to step inside the UFC, not only step inside the UFC octagon, but to win inside the UFC octagon, a monumentous occasion for, just the overall Southeast Asia, the Asian continent, and just, that whole area, because in the UFC, we haven't really seen fighters from Myanmar, Laos. You talk about Vietnam. It's kind of a rarity nowadays. Talk to me just about what it's meant like, what it's meant for you to be able to represent the country, and also just the support that comes your way from the country, and just seeing people look up to you and what you've done.
Yes, sir, man. It was always a dream for me to represent my country. When I first started MMA, I talked to my coach, one of my coach. As soon as I started, like I haven't even had no fight, So I talked to him. I was like, when it's all said and done, I want to build a gym for my country, my country peoples and stuff like that. So it was always been like a dream of mine to represent the country, just because nobody really know Myanmar. Like if you go around somewhere and be like, I'm from Myanmar, nobody really know where's that, So I want to put Myanmar on the map, and seeing the support I get from Myanmar, man, it was just amazing. And you know, with my debut, I was representing Myanmar in front of the whole world. So it was amazing.
Absolutely, and I can imagine the fans in Myanmar were going absolutely crazy seeing you. And I know the country's especially gone through tough times, so I know that you, more importantly, being there and being a beacon of hope and somebody who's representing the country at the highest level, I can only imagine what that means for you. Alongside a lot of the other Southeast Asian fighters who really put the region on its back and really support. I know, obviously you got guys like Tom Lay, you've got Aung Song, you got Antoine Hose on the come up in LFA. There's a lot of talent steadily creeping up from the region. Have you been in contact with any of the guys, just talking with them? And just what's it been like to see the progression in your eyes?
Man, I was talking to Ong, Ong really gave me a shout out, and he reached up to me like, how you been, how's camp going and stuff like that. So, uh, On was a legend, I'm talking about, like, he was a double champ in one, and for him to talk to me, I was, what I'm saying, like, I was having a fan shock or something, like. So I was like, oh my God, talking to me, and now he would talk to me like casually, he was like, how you been, stuff like that. So that was like, man, that was cool. Like, to I was a fan, I was the biggest fan. So for him to talk to me like that, it was amazing, man. So always the guy I talked to, yeah.
No, yeah, definitely. And more importantly, I think it just speaks to the fighter that you are, because to get the respect of someone like Ong Song and see the respect that comes your way from someone like him, it speaks to the volume of how well established you are in the game at only 21 years of age, man. Born past 2000, that in and of
Hey,
itself, people get a dirty look. But, nowadays, the respect is coming tenfold because fighters like yourself are setting a strong example. You've got a multitude of amateur fights, successful in your amateur career, 8-1 as a professional. At only 21 years of age, you'll be 22 in October. I mean, dude, talk to me just about the reception in that front, in that regard. Getting the respect of pros who've been in this game longer than you have, and you're on equal footing with them in terms of fights. Some of them only having maybe 10, 15 fights. You already having that many fights across your amateur and pro career. Talk to me just about the recognition and just getting that experience at such a young age.
you know, uh, I always say this, man. A lot of people lacking in, staying active. And that's what I do. We in a fight business where a lot of people forget easily. So you know, I feel like I get my recognition for being staying active. You know what I'm saying? So because like a lot of people forget quick. So let's say you fight today and then you don't fight for like 5 or 6 months. Like a lot of people forget. You know what I'm saying? So uh, to remind a lot of people that, like, I feel like you gotta stay active, man. If you stay healthy, I feel like you should fight maybe like once in 2 months. You know what I'm saying? That's what I do, my amateur and my pro career. So, and you know what I'm saying? If you decide you want to fight, like, why not fight? I don't like training if I don't have a fight. So, like, I want to stay active, man.
Absolutely, and I know you were throwing a little shade at Jalgas ahead of the fight. You guys were just like bantering and beefing on social media. Ultimately, you got the W there, but I noticed some of the Kazakhstan fans were coming back at the comments as talking to you and talking trash about Azat Maxim. I wanted to know if there's any backstory there, or if maybe that was a fight that you were looking forward to getting. Is that a fight that you're eyeing down the line possibly?
Definitely, man. Definitely. You know what I'm saying? I was, uh, I didn't even watch the fight, so I just fell asleep. And then when I wake up in the morning, my phone keep popping, like, that notification thing. So I like, what's going on? I don't got a fight coming up. And then I look at it, and then it just say like somebody called me out. I was like, what? Somebody just called me out? That's cool. I was like, that's cool. And I talked to my manager, Jason House. I was like, when can I fight this guy? You know what I'm saying? When can I fight this guy? So I asked for that fight, but then I don't know what happened along the way. But then what I'm saying, that the I don't know what was the country name again?
Uh,
Kazakhstan,
uh,
Kazakhstan.
Kazakhstan.
Yeah, consistent. Yeah, those people, man, they crazy. They get on my ass like on they commenting on my picture, almost every pictures and stuff like that. So I was like, okay, I give them a little something. So that's what I like. I post a little picture where I barbecue their head and stuff, and hoping I was gonna get the fight, but hey, um, it didn't end up happening. So, but I feel like we will meet one day.
Absolutely. I know it's a
For
fight
sure.
looking forward to, and I know you bring a little bit of not only that Southeast Asia flair, but also that Texas style and that culture. Proudly repping Texas. You're a proud Texas resident. We see the fashion. People don't like to give people from past the 2000s credit, but Josh Van is out here styling the streets. Repping Texas on his back, repping Myanmar on his back. I gotta ask you just off the rip. What's the style inspiration? What's the Texas inspiration like? And I mean, what's the best go-to spot for either Myanmar eats or barbecue eats in Texas for you when you gotta get a quick feed?
Man, in Texas, bro, I'll say that Texas Roadhouse is amazing, man. There's nothing better than that Texas Roadhouse. And in Myanmar, we call it sabuti. We cook it with like corn and beef and stuff like that. So that's amazing too.
Absolutely. And I mean, thank you so much, Josh, just for the quick opportunity to get a chat with you. Pick your brain a little bit. Obviously, you're probably one of the most biggest up and coming prospects in the 125-pound division, which speaks volumes to the division because just a couple years ago, the UFC was talking about shutting it down, but now we've got guys like yourself coming in, making a statement and and getting amazing performances. I mean, just on a final note, what does it mean for you to be a part of this 125-pound evolution to now where it's one of the biggest divisions in the UFC, and guys like yourself are coming up and making a name, in the division and across, the world?
I was actually worried about that. Like I think I was only amateur at that time. When they was about to shut down that 125er, and I was like, damn, like what I'm gonna do? Because I naturally at that time I was only walking around like 128, 130. So there's no way for me to fight at 135. You know what I'm saying? I'm like, damn, it's gonna be crazy. But thank God. They didn't end up shutting it down. But then as I talked to my manager too, man, now I'm gonna put fire on that 125 division. So now it's our time, man. It's the fearless time. You know what I'm saying? So let's get the show rolling.
Absolutely, and I mean, it all starts with Kevin Borjas. Obviously, a lot of other objectives in mind. Only 21 years of age, man, and the future is so bright for you. Thank you so much for your time, Joshua. It's just been an honor to speak with you. I look forward to watching you fight, Josh, and just seeing where the future lies. I know you're putting Myanmar on your back, Texas on your back, and the whole world's going to be watching you very soon. Do be sure to check him out on social media, guys, at Josh Van, the Fearless MMA here, joining us at FightWave. Quick interview here today, but a good one nonetheless. Thank you so much for your time once again, Josh. It's been me, Dan, from FightWave. Hopefully you guys have enjoyed this interview. Do be sure to like, comment, subscribe, and have a great day, guys.